Hey, what's going on, everybody? How we doing today? Hope everybody's good. Sorry for that technical difficulty for that first 3 seconds. So, for those of you guys that are tuning in, been paying attention, today's episode we're gonna be talking about back pain. Unfortunately, that is something that most people actually go through in their lives. Most people are going to experience it, and it's actually hella common here in America. And I kind of want to talk about this today because I am currently dealing with back pain. That shit sucks. Let me tell you. So I kind of know why I have my back pain, and it's been pretty consistent in my life, especially as I graduated high school and been getting more into weightlifting and being more competitive when it comes to sports and working and having kids, doing all that good stuff. That shit has been killing me, and it's been more painful in the more recent days. Probably had experienced this back pain, I want to say, since the end of last week, and that shit sucks. It's like my lower back that's been killing me, and I don't know if you guys had lower back pain. That shit is killer, man. Yeah, like for me, the reason why I have lower back pain is because I've been kind of lacking my core when it comes to workouts, and going back to commonality of things, I was kind of doing research on, not kind of, I was doing intense research for this past kind of week and a half, well, half a week, on reasons of back pain, treatments. Oof, sorry about that. Treatments and other things related to back pain. I did a lot of research. What I came up with, for the most part, everything was kind of all the research articles that I went through, all the sites that I was looking at, they all kind of related to each other. So I used one main site for all the screen grabs that I have for you guys today. So when we talk about, or what I saw when it comes to how common back pain is, and I'm pretty sure you guys know that back pain is very common when it comes to everyday life, and if you don't, then you probably just ignore it because of how common it is, and not only with yourself, but probably you hear from all the other people in your life. You hear people saying just, oh man, my back hurts, I was doing this workout and my back is killing me, or they hurt themselves at work, and you just hear them complaining about their back. Or even you yourself, you've been going through back pain, because I know I do that a lot. I'm just complaining about my back, or I hear other people complain about their back, and I kind of just been blind to the subject until recently, where my back pain has been killing me. So bringing up this overlay right here, some of the research that I found. Yeah, hey. The research from the Mayo Clinic that I said is that I found says that third most common reason for a doctor's visit is back pain, and that's fucking crazy to me. Out of all the things that people go for, back pain is one one of the top tier things that people really go for, to get checked out and stuff, which kind of makes sense. And they also brought up that this can be caused inorganically or mechanical. So when they're talking about the non-organic stuff, that would be stuff that relates to car crashes, playing basketball or playing sports and taking impacts like football, so, or even wrestling, MMA, stuff related to that nature. And then bring this right back up. So as you can see, the global burden of disease study in 2017, I know it's kind of old, but it was hella interesting to me because this shows how common it is, because it's the leading cause of disability worldwide. And as it says right there, it prevents not only people from working but doing everyday activities. days. Holy fuck, that shit sucks. Imagine getting a back pain and just not being able to do like everyday common stuff like walking or taking care of your children, playing the sport that you loved. I would hate that, and I'm pretty sure that kind of relates to some of some of the stuff that we talked about in the previous episode when it relates to depression and grieving. That's one of the like things that people grieve about too, is when they're unable to do everyday stuff and they feel kind of powerless. So if you want to like learn more on how to get over that, you can go ahead and watch the previous episode. So more common things that I've also found right here. So when I'm actually referring back to this one here, the global burden of disease, this is the chart that I found where it talks about like the leading causes of disability between 1990 and 2017. So as you can see, in 1990, lower back pain was ranked number 1 on both studies, which kind of sucks if you think about it, because that means we're kind of being ignorant to the fact that lower back pain is very common and prominent in like everyday life. And I don't think people really realize how important it is to take care of your back. And then obviously right there it goes in like not really into death, but has other reasons of disability. So headache disorders. In 1990, number 3 was iron deficiency, and in 2017 that was depressive disorders. So obviously this is going to change, but as we kind of see right there, it's more common. It's been a repetitive thing where back pain ranks at 1 when it comes to the cause of disability. And the screen on the top right of your screen, now you're going to see the percentage of adults with pain in the past 3 months. So that study was actually from the CDC, from the CDC website. So in the past 3 months, unfortunately, women, you guys get the short end of the stick, where in between every single age group, you guys are kind of you guys have that back pain more common than not. So you have like that 26.1% of females with back pain between 18 and 44 years of age, and then 45 and 54 with 33%. Obviously with males, not too far behind, but we're kind of on the lucky side. We're on the lower end. And obviously, if you guys are paying attention to this chart, it seems that for some reason, males, we kind of peak at the 55 to 64 range, where we're at 34.9%. And then it's kind of strange where females, you guys have 37.3, peaking at 75 years and older. That kind of sucks, because it's kind of strange to me, because I would think that at 75 years and older we'd be higher in back pain, and I'm actually referring to males. Like I feel like we'd be higher in back pain when we get especially older than 75, because at that point your body's deteriorating, your muscles aren't as strong, your bones aren't as strong, and I'm pretty sure I don't really see too many 75-year-olds in the gym or doing like working out a lot. I think that kind of like goes with whatever culture you're from, because I know like with the Latin culture, and as far as I can see, like in my everyday life, I see more Hispanic people, older Hispanic people, males to be exact, actually going out for walks and doing all that stuff. And don't get me wrong, there is women doing that, but I feel like, I don't know, for some reason it's more common, probably because of the different times. Like back then it was more common for men to do all the heavy lifting, and women to do like all that stay at home stuff, especially when it refers to like the Latin cultures. So like Mexicans, Colombians, all that like Southern America type cultures, they kind of put an emphasis on that. And then going back to the overlay, where women that are over 30 and people who are classed as obese are at a greater risk of developing lower back pain. And 8 out of 10 pregnant women state that lower back pain impacts their daily life. and 1 out of 10 being unable to work. Unfortunately, that's going to be pretty common, especially with the women aspect. So women, if you think about getting pregnant or are currently pregnant, there's a lot of things that you guys can do to help aid that back pain. One thing I would suggest is going to your physical provider, like your doctor, physical therapist, anything like that, to try to help you guys with that back pain. Unfortunately, I am not qualified enough to fully help you. I'm just giving you guys these statistics and my personal experience. So sorry if I didn't mention that earlier. I'm by any means not a professional in any of these stuff, and I'm only speaking from my experience and things that I've kind of seen growing up. Going back to the common factors, risk factors, etc. So another thing that I found right here, age obviously, is as you get older, more back pain, lack of exercise. That's one of the obvious ones in my opinion. That's what most people kind of deal with, and it kind of goes in hand with the excess weight. Kind of going back to the previous one here, where it talks about that one, where it talks about people who are classed as obese are at greater risk. So when it comes to that, I do see, unfortunately, more back pain problems when referring to people that are excess in weight or lacking exercise, because they're not focusing on their core, like their core groups of muscles, like their abdomens, back, all that good stuff. Improper lifting, this kind of just relates to at work. So obviously at work, that's kind of why businesses try to put emphasis on proper lift techniques, even though some don't really enforce it as much, and they kind of use it just to get away with not to get sued, basically. So that's something that I would suggest, and I kind of focus on every time I'm at work. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very technical when it comes to things I do at work. I don't want to break my back, so I'm always I feel like I look weird because it's not normal to everybody. Everybody's kind of just bending at their back, and I'm squatting to pick up shit, which is kind of annoying sometimes because it kind of takes up energy. But if you work out consistently and you're you have a more active lifestyle, like me for example, fucking crazy, you get used to it, and that's kind of something that I'm gonna be advocating for. So everybody, if you guys are watching this, work out, or don't even work out, just be more active in your life, in your daily lives, so that you can do things with ease and less pain. All right, so going back to that overlay, not that one, going to that one. So improper lifting, psychological conditions, and smoking. This is all stuff we're kind of going towards the more extreme. So especially with the psychological conditions, that one obviously would be people with depression, anxiety, anything like PTSD, which is kind of something related to depression, but I ask a psychologist because I'm not a professional in that. And then smoking, the reason why they say is no smoking is obviously when you smoke, it kind of takes away some of the nutrients in your body that is required to have healthy ligaments, healthy bones, and actually takes away proper oxygen, I believe it was. I would have to look more into that to give you guys the exact specifics on why smoking is bad for you. Obviously smoking is bad for you, but more specifically to why it can cause back pain. I'm not gonna go too deep into that, but that's something that you guys can look into, or if you guys want me to, I can do a whole nother video talking about the emphasis of why smoking is really bad for you. All right, now going into the causes, or the risk factors and causes, going into this overlay, muscles or ligament strains. So that's going to be related towards people like this guy, where I'm working out and say you strain a muscle because you went too heavy, or you thought you were using proper form, but in reality you weren't, which is why that's another emphasis that I want to put on is for new people that are new to working out, because obviously if you don't have proper form, you're gonna be at higher risk to hurt yourself. I'll suggest watching either like YouTube videos on form, which not a big suggestion because there's some bullshit that you be seeing out there, and when it comes to fitness influencers, I would suggest going to your doctor, physical therapist mainly, checking out chiropractors, especially if you already are a victim of lower back pain or back pain in general. But going to those professionals should be able to help. They should be able to help you, and hopefully they kind of don't prescribe you too much of the, the negative things like narcotics. But I mean, I would only suggest that to people with the more extreme end, like with broken C discs, like C5, C4 discs, all that bad stuff that happens normally with like extreme cases like car crashes. And going back to this overlay, bulging or ruptured disc, I can't really explain that one. Yeah, see, you know what I'm talking about. Go see a physical therapist. But for the most part, all the things that were related to the causes, like diseases that I saw in all the articles, arthritis was kind of like lumped in, but I used the Mayo Clinic's snippet of it, because it kind of just separated that. Separated it from osteoporosis, which, if you don't know, it's kind of a disease that weakens bones and can like cause serious damage to not only your back but to everything else in your body, especially like your hips, which is that's a hard one to come back from, as far as I know, as far as I heard, and personal experience, like with family members that have hip pains and hip damages. They tend not to last very long because of the depression or the cost of surgeries to try to get that fixed and replaced, and all that horrible stuff that you see with people that are older, sadly. Today's episode is brought to you by Shaq. Now, I'm not talking about the NBA Hall of Famer. I'm going to be talking about the little beat up buildings you see in San Bernardino. Fortunately, not everybody can find a place to stay. Not everybody can afford to buy a house or pay for rent, and honestly, inflation's probably killing your chances at buying a house. Well, I got good news for you guys. Shack has a place for you. Every shack is dirt cheap and can be found all across the Inland Empire. Includes year-round ventilation and even has complimentary homeless people to keep you company. Are you ready for Shack, guys? Well, go ahead and give them a call at 1-800-SHACK-ME. Again, the number is 1-800-SHACK-ME. Tell a man he sent you. Disclaimer: Shack is not responsible for the type of person you receive and any damages to your Shack during the visit. Also, this ad is fake, and so the number will not answer your call, but if it does, standard message and data rates apply. Thank you. Anyways, muscle imbalance, going to the chat there, you're right. Muscle imbalance is too much. That's actually something that I like, the reason why I have back pain. So I don't believe I said it earlier, but I've consistently gone to my doctor to talk about my back pain, why I keep going through this. And obviously the first few times it was thought because of like I hurt my back or something like that. But then as I continue to go for my visits, when I talk to my doctor, how they explain the muscle imbalances, well, at least for me, how my doctor explained it to me. So how she was telling me was that, think of your back and your abs as a scale. There you go. It was as a scale. So if your back is like extremely stronger than your abs, then your back is kind of just gonna pull your abs up and cause all that tension in your lower back. I mean, obviously that's just how she was explaining me to kind of dumb it down for me, because I'm not a professional. But then it also the same thing with if you have too strong of a core, like your abdomens, and you have a weak lower back, then that's less common. But the more common one when it comes to muscle imbalances, as far as she was telling me, was that you have like a overly strong lower back and a severely weak abdomen. So she told me about jaundice cross syndrome. Yeah, she probably said that, and I just don't recall because when I went to her, it was like fucking 4 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that, and I was too stupid to really understand when she was saying like the exact term for it, and I was kind of just like, "What the fuck is that?" So she explained it to me using the dumb way. She kind of dumbed it down, or not even dumbing it down. She just made it more understandable for the average person to understand. So going back to all the overlays, all the research that I've did, I'm glad you're in here, kind of like bringing up more things that I could talk about. Sports related injuries is also common. I don't have an overlay for that, I believe, but especially with when I was posting earlier today, most of the people that commented and let me know the causes of their back pain, most of the back pain was sports related. So like one person said soccer, another person said it was because of basketball, getting undercut and landing on their back. What was another one? There was just so many that I couldn't really like get I can't get all of them to my head currently, but for the most part, what I've heard that was more common in the people that I know and all the experiences that I have was because of sports and fitness related injuries, and that kind of sucks, especially for all those I think you know this one. I don't know if he wants me to say his name, but let's just say that it was a guy playing basketball, went up, and he got undercut, landed on his back, and he has fucking back pain. He's been having back pain ever since then. Kind of sucks. That's something that kind of frustrates me too. I don't know, you know it there. Because, basketball, man, that's a whole different game, especially when you have people that are careless when it comes to defense, undercutting. I know that's happened to me where I go up for a layup or a dunk and somebody thinks they can catch up to you and they just fucking sweep you from under your feet. And oh yeah, I do recall that. That's why I was so glad that you actually tuned in, because I remember seeing that you went to school for that. And yeah, unfortunately not a lot of people do their research, and that's why I'm here doing a little bit of research. Obviously not a professional, but hoping I can get in or even talk to those people that are professionals so that everybody can hear from the professional. Like if I was able to get you in the Discord, we could talk about it a little more so everybody can hear your expertise on that. Let me move on to the treatments, because that's actually what I'm doing right now, going through a treatment process. So main one that I want to put emphasis on is from the Mayo Clinic, physical therapy. That's why Thair's here. If you guys need some help, hit up Thair. He's gonna be your physical therapist. He's more qualified than me to actually help you. So as you can see right here on the Mayo Clinic's website, they say that physical therapists can teach you exercises to increase flexibility and strengthen your muscles. And that's obviously something, there. Oh, here, yeah. You know what? Let me get there in here. I believe I have the link on my on my Twitch account. You go on Twitch, go check out. Oh, by the way, go on Twitch, everybody. If you guys are on Twitch, check out my links in my bio. I should have my Discord linked. I also have my Linktree linked if you guys want to catch up on any of my personal life or hear any news about the podcast or about any upcoming streams. It's all going to be right there. I have my Instagram, my Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, all that good stuff linked there. I'll go ahead and let me see if I can get them in there real quick. Let's see. Oh shit. And let me know if it doesn't, if it's not working. I'll go ahead and add it if I need to. Here, let me just go ahead. I sent it in the chat. I sent it in the chat. So if you want to click that link, I'll go ahead and bring you in. Sorry for for the long wait, guys. We'll continue right after I'm able to get there. And actually, I'll just continue while he's trying to get that set up. So let's go on to treatments again. So for the extreme end of back pains, I would say obviously the surgical and the other procedures. I'm not extremely sure. I'm not positive on like what kind of procedures they go through when it comes to lower back pain or back pain in general. I just do know when you go through like an extreme situation like a car crash or somebody just breaking your back during a sparring match in jiu-jitsu or wrestling or even football. I know some people go through like all these surgeries, especially after car crash. That's one of the more common ones and one of the common reasons for disabilities. Like especially when people get either rear-ended or T-bone, that's kind of what just sets up people for a rough road ahead, is what I'm gonna say. Because I actually I believe somebody that's really was close to me. He went through multiple surgeries. He got rear-ended, and it's just like surgery after surgery. I believe now they're still going through surgeries, which is tough. And if you guys have a loved one that's actually going through that, try not to give them a hard time unless they're being complete assholes and they're going through one of the stages of grief. And kind of teach them about those stages of grief and push them on through those stages onto acceptance. Anyways, going back to these procedures, what you can see there is the cortisone injections. So I believe that person that I'm talking about actually had to do this multiple times, and with that car crash accident it was continuous. So he not only got surgeries on his back, like on his C4 disc I believe it was, multiple times. He also ended up having like nerve damage in his hands, nerve damage in his necks. So just know that like back pain doesn't just strictly keep you in back pain. It kind of can spread into your neck, spread into your arms and other body parts, especially if you kind of hit one of the major nerves. Oh, you're in general? Awesome. Go ahead. Oh shit. Go back over here. Alright, awesome. Can you hear me now?
Perfect. What's up, bro?
Alright. What's up, man? How are you doing?
I'm chilling, man. I'm
Alright,
enjoying. I'm enjoying the stream for sure.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I've been going through a couple days of research and just kind of been having a hard time sleeping, especially. Dang, yeah, man. It's all fucking breathing into a mic. What's up, man?
Yeah, it was right by my nose.
Oh, but so for those that don't know on the stream, can you tell us what you do?
So I'm a PTA graduate. I'm basically um, a physical therapist assistant. So what the assistant does is the PT evaluates the patient and sets out a treatment plan, and then I come up with the workouts, the manual techniques, strengthening range of motion exercises, stuff like that. And then, collaborate with the PT and follow up with the patient after every session. Write soap notes, document, and then get our patients back to where they want to be.
Okay, so for how long have you been doing this for?
Bro, it's crazy. I just graduated like a month ago and passed my
Yo.
passed my board exam like last week. So
Oh, hey, that's what's up. Congratulations to passing the board exam, and I'm glad you're able to get into that line of business. So I have a follow-up question for you, man. So how, how many patients have you seen so far?
yeah, okay. So during your schooling, you have to do clinical hours. That's pretty much like an internship where
Hey,
you work
I'm
for
sorry, man. Your voice is a little low.
Oh, shoot. I turned it down because I didn't want to hear you breathing.
No, you're good, man. You're good.
Alright, hold up. Let's see. How's that?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Alright, yeah. So when you're doing your clinical rotation, you're seeing like patients like every day because you're pretty much just working, but you're not getting paid. So I mean, easily over like 100 patients. I'll just say that.
Oh, damn. And out of those, like, we'll say 100 patients, how often do you have patients that come along with back pain or
Oh man,
anything similar?
that's like that's one of the top ones, bro. Honestly, because like you pointed out earlier in your stream, there's so many different like diseases, um, like conditions that really affect like your low back and your back in general. Because that's where all your strength comes from your proximal extremities, and all that means is like your core. And that's another reason why like the muscle balance thing is so huge. Because what you told me your doctor was explaining to you, that's like the jaundice cross syndrome, and it's so like crazy how often people will have weak abs or too tight abs, or their hamstrings are too tight or their quads are too tight, and it really throws that hip um, out of whack, and so it puts too much stress on your low back. Definitely, you see that all the time, bro, all the time.
Oh, so it's not even just relating to your lower back and your abs. It's kind of just like your whole body in general, in a sense. So it'd be like your quads and your hamstrings too.
Right.
Oh,
So
damn.
pretty much, if you can just imagine a circle and then an X in the middle of that circle. So if you have tight abs, you're most likely going to have tight hamstrings. And then if you have tight abs and tight hamstrings, you probably have loose glutes and loose quads. So it's like that X. And then it
Uh,
happens at the cervical spine too. So if you have tight pecs, like pec majors, that means you're going to have rounded shoulders, and your neck is going to be like hunched over forward, and that causes like, like bad posture. But if your traps or your rhomboids are too tight, then you'll have like an extended posture like at the top. So it's definitely like muscle balance is a big one too.
oh, what's one of the main things that you would suggest people focusing on? For like everyday people, not people who just are more consistent with working out.
Um, Probably the biggest thing is people don't take core strengthening as serious as they should. That's probably the main thing. There's a lot of people who obviously have like herniated disc, slip disc, stuff like that, bulging disc, that definitely causes low back pain and just back pain in general. But like 9 times out of 10, I would say, probably like 7 times out of 10, it's because they don't work on their core. So
Uh,
their low back gets really tight.
yeah,
And then,
that's actually kind of something that I see a lot too. Like with the lower back pain. Uh,
yeah,
like a lot of people that I know with lower back pain, they tell me that they like never work out their core, or they like very rarely work out their core.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's actually one of my problems too. I
Yeah,
got
yeah, bro.
yeah,
I
like
know it's like super tedious to sit there and do like planks or do like some dead bugs or stuff like that, but you gotta do it, man.
yeah,
Just
man.
gotta do it.
I realized how bad I've gotten because of like yesterday, I believe it was. Yeah, yesterday, I got back into doing core again,
Hmm.
and it's been so long that I got a cramp in my abs,
Yeah,
and that's one of the worst feelings I've ever felt when it comes to cramps. That and then calves is a close second, but when I got a cramp in my abs, bro, oh my, that was something that was killer, and I understand why people wouldn't want to feel that pain and
yeah,
stop doing that. But unfortunately, that's just something that we're kind of gonna have to not avoid so that we avoid the lower back pain in the future.
for sure, for sure, man. So
Actually,
what got you into low back pain? Like, were you just curious, or it's because you're going through it yourself?
so I've actually always been curious, but I've been too lazy to do the research, so I'd always just go to the doctor. But then at a certain point, more recently, I kind of just been like, damn, why the fuck am I gonna waste money going to a doctor when I could do more research myself, so that when I go see a doctor, they're not just wasting my time and I'm not just wasting their time with guesses of why it could be happening.
It's just really good, man. I equate it almost to um, personal training, right? You can spend money having someone teach you all these exercises, but once they teach you and you know what to do, I mean, you know how to rehab it yourself. So
Yeah,
why waste that money when you put your own time in and you take it serious, and hey, you'll it's your body. You'll start to feel when you're getting better. Trust me.
yeah. That's one thing I kind of like advise people to do too, especially when like they're newcomers at work and now like either learn from a close friend or just like do the research yourself. That's kind of what I did. I would learn from friends and I would do a lot of research when I first started getting into working out, like 2 years ago.
Hmm.
And I'm gonna say it was a big game changer for me, especially when it came to my lower back pain. Because when I first started, I was like experiencing the lower back pain. I think right now is more extreme, but back then I hated it too. And because I was like doing all that research, and I see people with personal trainers probably spending like 300, 400 a month, and seeing probably like, no disrespect, but little to no gains. And I'm over here just doing all the research myself and kind of pushing myself to not only make my body better and stronger, for my kids and for my family, but also for my own lower back health.
Yeah, man. It always makes it easier when the patient takes it as serious as the therapist or the trainer or the doctor. Because at the end of the day, the healthcare professional is getting paid whether you take it serious or not. And it's your body, it's your life. Like you said, you want to be there for your kids. You don't want to be 40 years old and struggling to get out the chair because you have low back pain. Like, no, I'm sure you want to play ball with your kids one day. So definitely it
Yeah,
makes the rehab process a lot better when the patient takes it serious for sure. So
yeah.
kudos to you, man. That's a good way to think.
Thank you, I appreciate it. That's kind of something I've been learning, especially since I have my two boys, and I don't think people probably just take that for granted. They don't think too much about their health, and then year like 10 4 or like 10, 12, 15 years pass by, and they're 40, their kids are 20, or they're 50, their kids are 20, and they can't even keep up with them, and they kind of in a sense become like stress to their children, unfortunately. Because I know me personally, sometimes I do that where I'm kind of like upset because my mom can't do something, but then I realize I'm like, damn, nobody's teaching her how to stay healthy and
Yeah,
take care of herself. So
yeah, definitely.
yeah, so that's
You
another
don't
thing.
you don't want to be a burden to your family when you get older for sure.
Yeah,
So
like I know, luckily for luckily for me, my mom's actually more she's been pushing me more to try to help her. I'm not gonna lie, I get so frustrated, but that's my mom. She bugs my brother
yeah,
too, so we're over here
it's
like trying to help her, but
It's all good, man.
yeah,
You gotta encourage her to get active, even if it's walking for 10 to 15 minutes. Walk to the mailbox one week, and then walk to the end of the block another week. Next thing you know, you're walking around the corner. The more you actually get up and move, man, it's good for your body. You feel good about yourself. Your joints start to relax. Your muscles start to get stronger. You become more functional. So definitely, I would encourage you to, go on walks with your mom. And then it could
yeah,
also have like different effects. You guys could have like a better relationship or something. You guys could learn new things about each other. She could pass on some wisdom. There's so many benefits to it. Just
yeah.
getting up and getting active.
Man, you know what? I actually never really thought about that, because I feel like me and my mom already have a close relationship. But that's a good thing to bring up, especially for those that don't have close relationships with family members. You can start off with going on a walk, like you said, just doing something to not only better yourself and themselves, but also better the relationship that you guys have between each other. I mean, honestly, me personally, I kind of going back to the like walking to the mailbox and then walking down to the block the next day or next week. I tell people that it's like the other month, I believe, last time I talked to my cousin, I was telling him, oh, he was always asking me about working out, and I just told him like, hey man, like literally just going to the gym, going there for a minute, because you're not comfortable, just going there for a minute, then going there for two the next day, or even like two the next week. And if you continue to do that, you're gonna like start making a habit for yourself unintentionally, and you're
Yeah,
gonna end up wanting to go to the gym. And every time you miss, you're gonna feel like it's like, damn, I'm
Yeah.
not like achieving what I really want to be, because I know that's what I did for myself. When I went to Kansas and I started working now, I made it a habit to go to the gym every day right after work. And because of that, I don't know if you remember me like 2 or 3 years ago. I was fucking like 200 pounds, and I, you know, I'm pretty sure to most people I didn't really look like a slob, but obviously to me I looked like fucking shit.
Yeah. Our
Yeah,
own worst critics for sure, man.
yeah, for sure. So I put an emphasis on body dysmorphia because I know for a fact that I have that.
Yeah, but you're not the only one, man. I mean,
Yeah,
we grow up in that social media culture where you can look at your phone and you'll see someone with a perfect life, air quotes around perfect, but it's really easy to get caught up in that and looking at yourself in the mirror and feeling, incompetent or less than. So, but
yeah.
that's good. I mean, I'm glad that you're aware of that stuff though, bro. Very mature of you,
Oh
for real.
yeah, thank you. I've been learning a lot, especially since the COVID era, and like learning more about like health and fitness and relationships with families. That's something that I want to stress too. When like referring to the social media aspect, I try to tell people like don't compare yourself to others. I forgot who said this, but comparison is a thief to joy. A thief of
Yeah,
joy.
it,
And
it is. Comparison
man,
is a thief of joy. Yep.
yeah, and my Raylene, I don't know if you guys know her. If you're in here, Raylene, thank you. She's also another person that kind of is like helping me get out of that body dysmorphia that I have with myself. Because obviously I'm my worst critic, and I be telling myself like, "Damn, bro, you're fat, you're this, you're that," and she kind of encouraged me and keeps telling me like, "Hey, you're actually looking a lot better than you think." And I would encourage people to kind of be that person for the people closest to
Someone
you.
else, yeah.
Yeah, like be that person to push you. I mean, to push that person, if that makes sense.
Yeah, be the person you need
Yeah,
to
exactly.
somebody else. So
Yeah,
shout out
see.
to Raylene.
Yeah.
You're dope for that.
Yeah, she's amazing. Love her to death, man. She's probably like one of the best people that have came into my life. She helped me change a lot of my mindsets that I have from like kind of coming out of high school and growing into the man I am today. She kind of helped me grow out of all the bad habits that I have. Even now, like we're not together or anything, but she's still been a great help, and I appreciate her so much. Really, and if you're in here, thank you. I appreciate you. Much love,
Mhm. Shout out to Raylene for sure, man.
for sure. Let me bring up. Are you still able to see everything on the stream?
Uh, yeah. Unless you can share. No, you're streaming. So yeah, I'll watch your stream. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah. So I'm actually gonna bring up this treatment chart, and I wanna ask you a few questions about it to see if it's like something that you see that's more common when you have your patients over.
Yeah.
So for the first one, it's gonna be right here. This is also from the Mayo Clinic, and these are like different medications,
Mhm.
different treatments. So the pain relievers, muscle relaxants, topical pain relievers, narcotics, and antidepressants. So what are the most common ones out of this list that you actually hear people taking?
Definitely over the counter. So you have like your Advil, your Motrin, your ibuprofen stuff, but they usually get ibuprofen because they can get a stronger dosage from a doctor's prescription. So when you see those family members and they're taking, ibuprofens that look like Mike and Ike's, they're super huge. They got yeah, they got that from the doctor. Um yeah, the corticosteroids, I think I see that over here. No, those are NSAIDs. Yeah, but it's mostly just ibuprofen. Muscle relaxers, you see those a lot too. You have to have a prescription for those. The topical pain relievers, those are like your icy hots, your Bengay, stuff like that. And then the narcotics, your opioids, those are your Percocet or your like your morphines and stuff like that. Oxycodone, yeah, I see it on there too. Then antidepressants, I don't really see a lot of patients taking those. That's more of like a mental health thing. But one that's not on here is the injections. They're called corticosteroids. Those are really good, but it's like a double-edged sword because you can only get 3 injections before it starts to break down the tissue at the injection site. So it's kind of like you want to stay away from those, but they will relieve your pain for like about 3 to 4, 5 months at a time, but just it just comes back. So we
Oh
usually try
shit.
to, yeah, we usually try to save those for the chronic pain, like the pain you can't just, it doesn't easily go away, but we still try to treat the root cause and not just the symptom of pain for sure. So yeah,
Okay,
I
so
see those a lot.
for those steroids, what would like the situation be for that person for them to actually get that? So like, is that like for the more extreme, like obviously you said the chronic back pain, but would that kind of be one of the uses when it comes to like car crashes, like severe car crashes?
Yeah, definitely. Like if you have let's see, I had a patient. She was in a car crash. She had limited movement in her cervical spine. Your cervical spine is your neck. So she had limited movement up there. Um, she also had slight muscle tears to like her supraspinatus muscle, which is like right above your shoulder and like in the back. And she just had pain, bro, for months. And usually try to do conservative treatment, so like mobility, range of motion, like soft tissue stuff, which is really just massaging. So we try to do stuff like that, but because it was so bad and because she was dealing with pain for like months, then yeah, you know, her doctor brought it up to her like, hey, we can get you this cortisone shot or this, and then it'll definitely relieve your pain. However, it's really just a band-aid, It's not really healing you, but you will feel much better. I mean, your pain levels like drop to zero. It's crazy how good this stuff works, but you know, you do it once, you do it twice, and the third time you're pushing it, and you do it a fourth time, it starts to do more harm and do some good. So we really try to stay away from that. And when patients do get that, we try to take that time that they are feeling good to really like aggressively strengthen those muscles, or get a lot of range of motion outside of excuse me, at the site where they are limited in mobility and stuff like that. So that's usually our approach.
Mm.
But you can get those shots anywhere, dude. In your knees, you can get them in your arms, your elbows, everywhere. They
So
feel really good to those people, man, with pain.
going back to the deterioration that you were talking about,
Yeah,
so for that deterioration, would it be like something similar to like osteoporosis, or how would like what would you compare to that deterioration? Like
I got
how?
you. So osteoporosis is it has that's due to like your estrogen levels, right? So the reason why women are more susceptible to osteoporosis because they have higher estrogen levels, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that breaks down the bones. So that's why their bones are less dense and fracture more easily than their male counterparts. So it's not that necessarily. It's more of like how can I put this? I mean, it breaks down all the tissues, whether it's bone, whether it's tendon, whether it's muscles, whether it's fascia or fat. It kind of just makes it like weaker in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would say like, I don't know, not that it's like acid, but if you can just imagine acid burning through like something, it's kind of like
So
that. Not on that level
yeah,
though,
it's
but
like to put a visual on it, you would compare it to like an acid. It kind of just uh,
yeah, it just it makes the tissues weaker, they're susceptible to break down. So
okay. And you said the limit cap is like 3 usually.
yeah, after 3, it starts to break down.
Do you
for
know
sure.
if there's been any cases where like it breaks down like before that, or is it kind of like just a general rule of thumb?
That's just how we were taught. Um,
Mm,
we try to keep it at 3 or less, you know. But I'm sure there's people out there who've had about 4 or 5 injections because I'm telling you, man, it's like a miracle shot. You walk into the doctor, they shoot you up, you feel a little weird for like 2 days, and then for the next 3 to 4 months, you don't feel a thing. It's like it never happened. You feel young again. So it's
that's
kind of hard to tell patients dealing with like chronic pain, like, no, you shouldn't do this. But
yeah, especially if they feel like better than they felt in the past like 2 years.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just gotta be careful. You gotta make sure you're doing your PT while you're feeling the effects of that
Mm.
for sure.
I feel like those people that actually do end up with those shots, they probably try to avoid like the PT. I mean, I don't know how it is when that all the patients that you've seen, but I know for myself, like if I feel good and I had to go to physical therapy, I'd probably just skip it, which is,
Yeah,
yeah, like it's bad, but I'm pretty sure people have that same mindset to where like if they feel good, it's everything's all good.
yeah. I mean, and that's why I said earlier. It always makes it easier when the patient is more excited about the rehab process than the healthcare professional.
Yeah,
Because I can give you a home exercise program and say, hey, do this. You don't have to come in for physical therapy. Do this, and I'll check on you in a month if you're doing this twice, 3 times a week. But sadly, some people just like to come in and get a massage and go home. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to do the strengthening. They don't want to do the stretching. They don't want to do the mobility. They just want to, hey, like my shoulder hurts. Can you give me a massage? And it's just like, yeah, I'll do some manual techniques on you. But deep down, I know, like, hey, this isn't helping you. It feels
yeah,
good in the moment, but, if you want to actually get better, then we have to treat the root cause. So.
yeah. Because I know for me personally, I kind of have those bad tendencies where I kind of don't want to do the work, like especially when it comes to stretching. Like I used to love stretching and I would stretch all the time, but now like
Oh
I don't want to
man,
say
you
I don't have
got
the
to.
time, but yeah, like I
You
just
got to,
go to
man.
work, I go to the gym, and then I come back, and I always tell myself, I always tell myself, all right, when I get home, I'm gonna take like 15, 20 minutes to stretch, and then I'll go on about my day, like whether it's fucking do stuff that I need to do for work or for the stream or make food and take a shower, like all that good stuff. And then I end up coming home and I skip the stretching part and I do everything else that I've planned to do at home. And
Yeah,
yeah, it's
dude,
just it's so
you
bad.
should definitely stretch. You should make it part of your workout, actually.
Yeah,
Um, Take the first 5 minutes to do some static stretching, which is just like some like hold for 30 seconds and then switch positions, and then do some dynamic stretching, which is just like
kind of
doing
like bouncing stretches in a
yeah,
sense.
yeah, like stretching with movement. You know what I mean? And then just do that and then get into your workout because you know that's that's definitely how a lot of athletes hurt themselves. People wonder why Tom Brady has been playing how good he is for at 45, 50 years old, but one of his main principles is pliability, which is basically being strong and flexible. Because I mean, think about it like this: if you're a baby, like you have your kids, right?
Yeah,
You're when you first have your kids, you know how flexible babies are.
yeah,
It's
it's
freaking
fucking ridiculous.
yeah, it's amazing, right? They never have soft tissue injuries. Like babies usually have like injuries to like the bones or stuff like that because they're so flexible. So the same principle applies. The more flexible you are, the least likely you are to have those crazy like ACLs, PCLs, LCLs, those kind of ligamentous injuries. So it's definitely a good idea to stretch. And you won't pull no hamstrings either, because I know you love playing basketball,
Oh
but
man.
yeah,
Oh.
wait till you're 30. You're not gonna be able to sprint up and down the court, if
Nah,
you're not
actually,
stretching.
I actually have a story about that. So not kind of a while ago now. I believe like 6 months ago, maybe a little longer than that. I actually tore my hamstring because I wasn't stretching.
See,
And
look,
that shit
look,
was the worst. Like I couldn't run. I could barely walk. I was at work like limping. Like
yeah.
all my cousins, like my cousins can attest to this. Like they saw me coming to work, and I'm over here like limping. I could barely walk, and luckily I took the time to actually heal and strengthen my muscles while I was healing. But I know not everybody can do that, especially when they're older. But shit, man, like to put an emphasis on stretching, man, like that shit is extremely needed. And like going back to the children, would you suggest parents like myself to have our children stretch as they're growing up, so that we put it into their mind and like make create a habit in a sense for them?
Um, it's not that important to where they have to like make it a habit. But if you're gonna have athletic kids and you want, they're gonna be in sporting events, then definitely, you know, most of the time you can get by without stretching if you're not actively playing sports or anything, because
Okay.
you're not gonna rely on your physical ability to like, do anything out of the ordinary, I guess. But yeah, man, if they're involved in sports, definitely
Oh,
stretch before and stretch after. A lot of people don't realize that, but you really should stretch after,
hmm. If you could
just as
put an
important.
emphasis on like before or after, which one would you say is more important?
Probably before, and
Oh.
it also depends on the sport too. If you're like football is very like explosive, and then the play stops, and then you're running full speed again and the play stops. You need to really really stretch for football. Basketball, like soccer, you're constantly moving,
Yeah.
it's kind of like a flow thing, so your body will warm up a little bit better, but you still need to stretch. But football for sure, like stretching before, definitely. But yeah, I would say stretching before it's a little better. Stretching after, it's good, but it's not as necessary.
Okay. Yeah, I actually was going like into like this deep read on stretching too, and
Hmm.
like I read a couple of mixed articles. One of them was saying that it's not good to stretch when you're cold. So like kind of do dynamic stretchings and then go into static stretchings, and then I've
Hmm.
seen some say that like just get into a workout and don't push yourself too hard until you warm up and then stretch after. So I want to know what like your take on that is, like especially when it comes
Um,
to bodybuilders and people focusing on strength.
so when it comes to weightlifting, stretching before your workout is actually proven to make you weaker in a sense. So if you don't stretch and you hop on a bench and let's say like your max is 200 pounds, you'll probably be able to like do like 205. But if you stretch, you'll probably struggle to get to that 200. It's a weird phenomenon, but it's kind of like how that is. So I mean, it all depends on you. I think that if you're going into like a weightlifting competition, then don't stretch before. Like
Hmm.
loosen up, but no like dynamic stretching, no static stretching for sure. Loosen up and then go in there because you're actually stronger. Like that's been proven. Um, but if you're going for sports, then yeah, definitely you need to do some static stretching before. Nah,
Okay.
I know it's crazy, bro. Like, but that's really like it's been proven. Also, just to give you like a little tip for like research, if
Hmm.
you actually type in Google.Scholar
Yeah.
or just Google Scholar, you use that?
Yeah. I was using that.
Okay, yeah, that's where you get a lot of like peer-reviewed articles and a lot of people who've like done the research from like different universities, different healthcare professionals. Definitely a better source than just using Google. So anyone out there, use Google Scholar.
Yeah, I was using it, but for um, some of those articles and researches,
Yeah, you have to pay, huh?
nah, you
Sad.
just gotta you gotta be smart.
You gotta
Like
get behind those paywalls, man.
yeah, some of them, man. Like there was a few that I was looking into, and unfortunately I couldn't get into it, and it did look good. The shit that also sucks about it is that like because I'm not like a professional in these things, some of the things I had to keep like looking up and then going back to it, like because obviously I don't know like all the more what I say like doctoral terms for it, like the professional terms for it,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, what the fuck is what are they talking about? And then I have to
Yeah,
go look it
dude, just
up.
go
Yeah,
down the rabbit hole, man. That makes
yeah,
it fun, you know. And then your next doctor appointment, you start asking a little more questions. Cause
yeah.
I really enjoy like when patients actually take it as serious because then it reminds me that I need to be sharp. I need to know what I'm talking about. I need to know because some patients will really test you. Like they'll come in with all kinds of research
Mm-hmm.
and they want to have confidence and faith that hey, like, you
Like
know,
I'm actually dealing with a professional.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I love that for you, bro. Really. Go down that rabbit hole, man.
Man, sometimes it's bad. I think on the last day of research, actually last night, my that was like when I was kind of like completing everything and putting everything together. I actually
Yeah.
fuck man, I probably fell asleep at like 2 in the morning and I had to get up for work at like 7. Well, I
Oh
was
man.
up before that, but I was just like,
Yeah.
fuck, man. I was so tired this morning, but then I was like, you know what? I was actually excited to talk about this today, especially because I was like doing more in-depth research, and it was something I was actually excited to have people learn about and understand that taking care of their body is a necessity.
Yeah, it really is. And don't and I just want to leave you with one thing because I got work tomorrow, so I'm gonna try and get off here and let you do your thing.
All right.
Um, we live in the day like the encyclopedias at our fingertips, like Google and stuff. Like don't let no one like tell you like you don't know what you're talking about. You know what I mean? Because even in school, we had a project almost every week where we had to go on Google Scholar and find like some peer-reviewed research. You know what I mean? And we had to present that. So the same thing that you're researching is the same thing that these guys are researching in school. So definitely feel proud about like what you're doing because it's not like just because someone went to I went to Loma Linda University or I went to Cal Baptist University, I know better than you. No, you do your research too. These books are out there for anyone to purchase. You can
Yeah.
read the same book that their professor is assigning homework on. You know what I mean? So definitely feel proud about that, bro. And congrats on the stream, bro. Congrats on what
Thank
you
you.
do.
Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
I really liked the vibe tonight. It was really dope, bro. So if you ever want to do this again, I'm down to come put in my 2 cents and give
Oh
you
yeah,
like a
for
real
sure.
world application.
All right, for sure. Yeah, I'll probably plan to, cause you obviously don't just work on like back pain. You do with other types of pain, right?
Oh yeah, the whole we treat the whole body, man.
Oh, for
Whole
sure.
body.
Yeah, cause I'll probably get back to you on like ankle and knee and all that other stuff. Cause I
Oh
used to
yeah.
be a chronic ankle sprainer.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I,
so
I can show you some exercises to get that proprioception back, because that's
for
all it
sure.
is.
Yeah, I'm for sure gonna need that because even now, like I kind of just depend on like just high top shoes for basketball and stuff to try kind of like keep my ankle locked in place.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So yeah, you want to talk about the ankle next time? Just let me know. I
All right, for
got you,
sure.
bro. I'm down.
Oh man, I appreciate it. So I want to say in 2 weeks, but I'll let you know.
Hey, anytime, man. No
Yeah,
worries.
I have you on Instagram, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
pretty sure.
yeah.
All right, yeah, for sure. So I'll probably get in touch with you again later. I want to say in 2 weeks. I'll go ahead and shoot you a message though beforehand, probably like a week beforehand.
Yeah, just let me know, dude. I'm always down.
All right, man. I appreciate you for coming, being a guest, and letting everybody know your expertise. And until next time, have a good night rest and be safe for work. All right, man.
Appreciate it. See you later.
Yeah, no problem. Later, man. All right, guys. So going back into the treatment chart, I actually forgot to bring this up with him just because I was so in depth with this. This is one of the other charts that I kind of found. This was from February 2017. Painkillers was actually one of the most common like treatments for for people that suffer the back pain. And unfortunately, in my opinion, obviously I'm not a professional, but I feel like that sucks because how I view the world is that I feel that physical strength and like focusing on your own personal health is something that you should be focusing on to kind of have your body better as a whole. Like going down the list, you have the painkillers, physical rest, coming in pretty close, but not as close as I wanted to be. 32. Ooh, sorry about that. 32% for physical rest in everyday life at work, and obviously you do need rest, but at a certain point, like some people kind of, stress rest far too much in a sense. Like they kind of depend on it, and then at a certain point they get lazy. At least that's from my experience, and not only for me myself. I know sometimes I do get lazy when I start resting, but some people that I know that were near and dear to me, they rested for too long, and then they kind of just use it as an excuse. So that's another thing. Going back to the grief subject. Continuing on, like as you can see, like as we progress down that chart, you see exercise being one of the big things, or more common. So you have the, where's my finger right here, you can't even see it. Anyways, so you have moving a bit more in everyday life. You have weight reduction, stress reduction, back exercises in a gym, and then back exercises at home. So that's actually one thing I'm glad to see on this chart, is that even though it's not as common, like if you kind of add all those up together, you do see more people trying to focus on bettering themselves. But we need to put, in my opinion, more emphasis on strengthening your body, so that you can not only help your back pain get better, but prevent it. Drinking tea, I'm not sure what's up with that one. I would have to do more research when it refers to drinking tea and like healing back pain. I don't know if that, like how that helps. I probably have to get back in touch with there about that one, or I'll probably end up just doing more research. So if you guys want to know more about that, I might have a link to that one. And then if you guys want, just let me know. I'll probably have all the links and related links to all the research that I've done in probably the YouTube video. And that brings me to the point of subscribe, follow, like, share, comment, and check me out on Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and check in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Tuesdays for the live shows here on Twitch, and Thursdays live streams, gaming, whatever the case may be, maybe just chatting. It's gonna be 10:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Alright, so now going into overall prevention, our last point of the evening. So the tips to prevent back pain, this is going to be from like everything put together, not only just the Mayo Clinic. Maintaining a healthy diet and weight. And that does not mean, let me put an emphasis on this. This does not mean that you need a six-pack, cut body, sub 5% body fat. That's not what losing weight and being healthy means. Let me put an emphasis on this, more of an emphasis. So what people see on Instagram, YouTube, like all these fitness influencers, all that six-pack and, ripped, shredded Mr. Olympia type bodies, that's not attainable for most people. Some influencers will actually tell you that. And honestly, a lot of the influencers, whether they actually are open about it or not, are going to be on like the steroids, like Tren, all these other things where obviously I'm not a professional on, because I don't take any of that, and I focus on everything naturally. That's stuff that's attainable through all that stuff, and also in like with genetic, like blessed genetics. There is some people that can achieve this six-pack without the steroids and all the extra hell, but that also goes hand in hand with genetics, and I believe it's like probably like 1% or something of the population can actually attain a six-pack, and not even like a crazy ripped six-pack. So yeah, health and weight. not it's a big deal, but don't think of healthy in a good way as being shredded or ripped or having a six pack. Because me personally, I don't have a six pack. I'm healthy. I'm kind of toned, but I'm not like stupid ripped, and I'm not gonna say that being ripped is healthy. Because for most people, you're gonna have anger. You're gonna have like lower testosterone or lower estrogen levels and all that extra stuff that you would have to get in touch with your doctor about. But because I know that me personally, when I actually did when I was actually extremely into like cutting weight and trying to get a six pack, I went to my doctors because I wasn't feeling good, and I was actually low in a lot of things, a lot of supplements that I needed after that, because I was low in like, I believe it was like my testosterone was low. Sure, I would have to like pull that up, but I had like literally like I did a full blood test, and like every single category that they had on there, I was like either far below or like below than the normal average. And that was obviously because I was cutting extremely, and I just wanted to look good, which is very stupid, very very stupid, especially if you're trying to be healthy and think that a six pack is healthy. It's not. It's attainable for the select few, but it's not that important. As long as you're healthy and you feel more comfortable in your body, you'd be good. Going back to the tips to prevent pain, avoid prolonged inactivity or bed rest. Going back to my point about being healthy, and try to be more active, work out. It doesn't even have to be extreme working out and trying to fucking lift 3 4 plates or 2 plates and trying to max out every day. Just basic workout movements or basic cardio. I would suggest cardio just because it focuses on the biggest muscle, the most important muscle in your body, which is your heart. So if you are going to work out and you have to choose between weightlifting or cardio, I would suggest just doing cardio, because there's no more important muscle than your heart. Going back to this overlay, maintain proper posture. As you guys can see, my posture was pretty much shit this whole time, but that's another important thing when it comes to lower back pain. There could probably attest to that. And then remain active. I'm kind of like jumping back and forth to what I'm looking at. Warm up or stretch. Going back to what Thayer said. Warm up and stretch before exercise or physical activities. Right here, the example that the Mayo Clinic had was gardening. To each his own. Physical exercise, physical activities doesn't have to be in the gym. Doesn't have to be sports related. It can be such, gardening, mowing the lawn, stuff like that. Other things right here: sleep on a mattress, wear comfortable shoes, lifting objects properly. That's another thing I kind of want to go back to. When you're at work, lift properly. Don't break your back just for some job and because you're trying to maintain some numbers. Honestly, like that's if you get fired from a job because you're using proper technique, that wasn't the job for you. And quite honestly, that's probably something that you could sue for. Not advising it, but yeah, proper technique. Lift your legs, not your back. That's something that I see far too common. Even where I work now, I kind of see people like improper lifting, and even some of my family members do it. And I should be telling them, but honestly, I don't see them that often. So when I do next time, I got you guys. Make sure you guys are lifting properly. You guys at work watching, lift properly, please. I get so anxious when I see you guys lifting stuff, especially all the heavier stuff. Like, take care of your body, man. That's all I gotta say. If you guys need help, any tips to working out, strengthening your body, just let me know. This is, for the people in my personal life, family, friends, sports amigos, whatever. And then go back to there. Yeah, and then quit smoking. There you go. That's where I wanted to get to. Smoking impairs blood flow, resulting in oxygen and nutrient deprivation to spinal tissues. that's what I was kind of talking about earlier when it said smoking was one of the causes of back pain. I couldn't remember what it was, but there it was. It limits oxygen to your to your spine, which obviously is bad because your body needs oxygen. I don't think anybody like people really realize that, but oxygen is used throughout your whole body. People kind of tend to stop at your lungs because you're breathing it in and then you exhale carbon dioxide. But it's more than just that. It's your blood. Your blood carries oxygen. Your lungs, your brain has oxygen. It's just a trickle effect, a domino effect, as you can say. So yeah, there you go. There you go. Oh, sorry about that. Anyways, so yeah, working with your chiropractor to ensure that your workstation is ergonomically correct. I can't help you with that. I didn't really understand. I didn't get to look too in depth on that. But obviously, work with your chiropractor or go to a physical therapist like my boy there. All right, now kind of going back to my personal back pain. So with me, my back pain has obviously been the muscle imbalances. Right now, my lower back is a lot stronger than my abs, than the frontal part. Basically, back part of my body better than my front part, and by leaps and bounds. Sadly, I kind of been ignoring my back pain, and it's been very chronic recently. So I've been getting like back spasms, hella. So one of the things I'm doing right now is obviously, like I was telling Thayer earlier, I'm actually working out my core a lot more. I'm trying to focus on core every day. Today I actually did miss it, but these past few days I've been working out my core, whether that be crunches, toe touches, that little ab roller, so that yeah, planks, all that good stuff. Um, there's like a bunch of other exercises. I also try not to forget about my back. So on the back days, I focus on my lower back, but I don't put too much weight. That's another thing people need to kind of watch out for if you guys are trying to work out to get your back better. You kind of got to be careful. Focus. I would say focus on proper technique and then strength after you get the technique down, just so that you don't have bad technique and then you end up hurting yourself even more. But anyways, yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'll probably give you guys updates on Instagram. Check out HTLT right there. So I have their protein right there, protein there, sleep aid there, and that's a G shred, which is a fat burner that kind of limits my my hunger. Yeah, cause I don't eat too much. I just eat enough. So when I do end up craving something after a long workout or something, I just kind of take one of those, so I'm not like starving. But yeah, go check them out. Links in the description. Links in my Instagram bio and the link tree. Just go down to HTLT supplements. If you guys are looking for workout regimens or stuff like that, you could either go to there, or I also have another link in my bio. It's gonna be under, I believe it's buy these freaking ebooks. So there's a workout one, diet one. I use the diet one, really good. When I did use it, I currently don't use it just because I've been like really busy and I don't have time to learn any new ones. Kind of got tired of the ones that I've been using back to back. So if I can make a suggestions to you guys as a non-professional, protein powder, sleep aid, that's more important in my opinion. And focus on working out. Get the ebooks if you can. Use the link. You unfortunately don't get a discount, but helps your boy out. Nothing too crazy, but it helps me buy more of those. So yeah, thank you guys for coming. Hopefully that was big help for you guys on back pain. And if you guys are experiencing back pain, I'm hoping that everything that you heard in this video can help you out. And again, I'm putting emphasis on it. I'm not a professional. Go to your doctor first before you do any of these treatments or do any of the prevention methods. Go ahead and talk to your doctor. See what you can do if you are currently experiencing back pain. Let them know. I would say learn, like educate yourself on what can be one of the causes. Go ahead and talk to your doctor. Maybe they could come up with some workout methods. Probably prescribe you some medicine, honestly, and then go on from there. So thank you guys for tuning in. Check out YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitter, and check back in Twitch on Thursday. I'm gonna be live, and if you guys are gonna be watching on Saturday, if you guys are on YouTube and Spotify, you guys are probably gonna be listening to this on Saturday. And tune in Tuesday for the live show, Thursday for the live streaming. Thank you all for tuning in, and I appreciate the input of the physical therapist. Have a good night, everybody. Much love, and thank you. Later.